Hey, oh my goodness, today is a great day. 11, officially 11/11 for me. It's one of my favorite days, an opportunity for us to talk about new beginnings and new normals, things that you can do to really power through to the next best version of you when it comes to entering your new seasons in life, right? 11/11. Drop that into the comment box for me so that I can see, especially if you are catching me live or via the replay side. Again, an opportunity for us to talk about new beginnings and creating new normals in your life and in your business. I am your girl, LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. Always excited to share things that you can do when it comes to number one, making sense of making money online, of course, as always, but of course, not just monetization, but your content creation, your marketing, your sales, your motivation, all the things. So, new beginnings. Hey, Cynthia, let's dig in. What I actually want to do today is to talk to you about things that I did to create new normals in my life and in my business, to enter new seasons, to transition from working a 9 to 5 to being a full time entrepreneur many, many moons ago. As a matter of fact, next Friday, my mini me is going to officially be 16 years old. And I officially quit my job when I was a few months pregnant with him. So, certifiably unemployable, creating a space where I could create my vision of the future for me and for him, for my family. And then, of course, to share those recommendations with you is something that I absolutely love to do. So, welcome, welcome. Hey, Levon. New normals. That's what we are going to dig into today. Feel free again to drop in 11/11 into the comment box so that I can see you're excited about talking about new beginnings and new normals, just really digging into those parts of you that are eternally optimistic and powering through, right? Because life is not always going to be perfect, right? Life is going to throw a lot at us, right? But being in a space where we can just stay the course and power through, that's something that I want to encourage you to do today. Okay. So I'm going to get my eyes on because I need that. Welcome, welcome. Yes, 11/11. I'm going to get my eyes on so I can walk you through the new normal series and some things I want you to do. Okay. Now, as I do that, I want you to think about right now what season you're in versus what season you want to be. Now, it's possible the season you're in right now is exactly where you want to be, baby. All right. Or you're ready to transition. What does that look like for you? What does that feel like for you? I remember when I was pregnant with my son, I was working my 9 to 5, and I wanted to have normalcy. I wanted to be in a place where we had a home, where I was living in an apartment in New York. Where I had my own car, where I was doing my own thing, working my own business, all the things, right? So to be able to kind of think about where I was then versus where I am now, 20 plus years having a business, going into 16 years working at home. At first, I went from the side hustle sister to the 9 to 5, transitioning into full time. So it took a little bit of time, but I got it and it's working. I want you to be able to think about right now what season you're in versus where you want to be, because creating your new beginnings, working to your next definition of normalcy, that's what I want us to do today. Okay. So let's dig in. Let's dig in. Let's do this. Um, the New Normal Workbook, I created this particular series a few years ago, just kind of documenting my process of what I was able to do to transition and to go into new seasons. I feel like I'm definitely ready for a new season in my life and in my business. And so tapping into these strategies to me today, right? Especially on the day 11/11. It's a little after 11 on 11/11, right? Something that I essentially wanted to do to come on here and talk to you. That was a part of my vision for this week in particular. So new normals, new beginnings. There are several sections inside of the New Normal workbook that I'm going to talk you through today. If you want this particular series, it's also a part of my New Beginnings bundle, okay, which is at sizzlesense.com/NBB. NBB, again, for the New Beginnings bundle. The first thing it says here is this: start now. There are 7 days in a week, and someday is not one of them. Okay? Listen, there are 7 days in a week, and someday is not one of them. So if you're somebody who is looking to get to your next season, your new, right? We have to get into a space where you are actually moving towards that process. So the first step in the New Normal series is start now, right? And this one's got a little bit of doggy ears on it because I be in these things, sharing these things with you. No more wishing, no more waiting, no more will I or won't I contemplating. The new normal, your new normal, starts now. As Angela Davis once said, I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. Write this down. I want you to think it, speak it, write it, claim it, and make it happen. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be able to write it down, think it, speak it, write it, claim it, and make it happen. So, eventually I'll hit that $1,000,000 status. I'm working towards that, right? But I can tell you the statuses that I've been powering through all of these years is because I've just intentionally been committed to thinking the things that I wanted for myself, writing them down, claiming them, and making it happen, right? So let's talk about what that looks like, what that looked like for me, and what that can look like for you too. Start now. Remember, you were born to be who you are, right? Who you were born to. I'm tongue tied, so let's try that again. Remember, you were born to be who you were born to be. Don't let your current circumstances determine your future success. Yes. So this is an important one for me to share with you. Like I said, if you want to get the New Normal workbook, the audio series, as well as quite a few other resources I have for you in the New Beginners bundle, New Beginnings bundle, that's over at sizzlesense.com/WBB. The first thing that I wanted us to do when it comes to starting now is to understanding that your current circumstances do not and should not determine your future success, right? We all go through some stuff, and in those periods, we can get into our feelings where we think we're not going to be able to make it through. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm a diabetic, and if you know anything about A1C numbers, right now mine's is a 6.6. I need to get to a 6.4 for normalcy. Okay, that's where I am. That wasn't where I used to be last year. After a lot of things, we went through a very traumatic season. All of us, right? Lockdowns, all the things. My A1C was 14. Almost lost my eyesight. I lost quite a bit of feeling in my left foot, and I thought I was going to die. I actually had the opportunity to go to Florida last year, and I was in Orlando, and I was hoping and praying that my mama or my aunts or somebody would come see me, and they were like, "Listen, we we ain't driving nowhere." And so after driving 13 hours to get to Florida myself, by the way, I drove straight. Me. Uh After getting there, finally, I drove another 3+ hours to see my mommy, because I said, I don't know if I'm going to make it to the end of the year. And just in case, I know I needed to see her. I'm telling you this because I am not where I was last year. There were days that I could not sleep. Now, interestingly enough, my sleeping patterns are very different this year. I wake up very early and I go to sleep very early. But the me who I am is not the me who I was, because we go through these different seasons. We go through these ebbs and flows, right? And I've got so much more energy now. My perspective has changed now. I took a while to work on some breaking and some healing and getting me back to where I needed to be, right? After the trauma. And for some of us, we didn't necessarily see all the things that we went through, all the things that we had to do in that period that was happening to all of us in the last couple of years. And we're still trying to work our way through it. We didn't really see all the traumas and the triggers that was happening internally and externally, right? But in me sharing this current story with you, I wanted to be able to remind you that your current circumstance does not determine your future success. I didn't know what I was going to do when that doctor said to me, listen, your sugar is, I don't even know, 14, it's off the wall. I was like, I went in because I said, listen, I know I haven't been doing my insulin. I haven't been checking my blood. I've been crazy. I've been eating and drinking stuff. Not, I don't drink alcohol, but sugars, sodas, juices. I was drinking the shugs, and that I wasn't supposed to. And I could not see, the double vision, the blurry light sensitivity, all the things. My kind of like icicles. I remember the day when I lost a lot of feeling in my right foot. It was like my nerves just was like, and then I just kept hitting it, like thinking that if I could just keep doing that, it would feel better. Um, and I had to work on all of these things. It was scary, and it was, I'm not even going to go. I'm not going to go all the way down there, only to say I'm sharing because if you want to create new beginnings in your life, you have to come to a space where you realize that you have to start now. Wherever you are is not going to be the conclusion of where you are supposed to be. It's just a part of the story. Start now. Write down your truths. Who were you born to be? What were you born to do? What path does destiny keep taking you back to? What path does destiny keep taking you back to? When I was young, my mom used to always say that I reminded her of my granny, who was very, very entrepreneurial, very, very, very outspoken. And from a very young age, I was that kid that was like, I want to make stuff and I want to sell stuff and I want to make. So it's like, you always trying to make money. Where did you get this from? Your granny, of course. But that entrepreneurial spirit was always inside of me, right? Who are you? Sometimes we lose sight of that because our circumstances blur our vision, right? And a part of the new normal process, multiple step process, is to identify where you're going to start by reconnecting to who you want to be, right? That's the first part of the process for me. Start now. Reflect now. Number 2. If you want a good sense of how to get where you want to be, take a look at where you were versus where you are right now. Remember that this is your life. That's like my TV show voice. This is your life, right? Where were you 10 years ago? Where were you 7 years ago? Where were you 5 years ago? One of the things that I absolutely love about this bad boy right here is the photo library, both on the iPhone and the Google Photos. And they're always sharing with me images of the life I have, the life I had, right? And the person I used to be. Like just being able to swipe and then look at some photos. I just absolutely love that. Being able to see, like, I don't know if you can see that at the top there. Just being able to see random photos. These are from, and it usually will tell me, these are from 2 years ago, right? It will usually tell me and show me, how long ago that was. And just kind of looking back, this is 12 years ago with my mini me about to be 16, right? I love that. How often do you guys do that? You scroll through, look at some of my awesome clients at my annual Fire Start Your Year conference here in North Carolina. How often do you scroll through those past images to see you and your family, my fur baby? I think I'm actually in my I Am Enough t-shirt here, uh, that my client Lavon lovingly created, me and my little sister, right? I'm just sharing this because the first part of this new normal, new beginnings experience, right? The new normal workbook, you got to think about, okay, how am I going to start now? Identify this person you were meant to be. Number one. Number two, how am I going to reflect now? In order to get to where you want to be, let's take a second. Let's think about your life last year, 5 years from now, from 5 years before, 7 years, 10 years before. Let's really take a look at your past, right? Reflecting on those experiences. Now, there are quite a few spaces here to talk about and think about reflection. Here's a good page because there are a couple of Reflect Now pages, and I'm just going to share a few of these with you. And again, if you don't have this, definitely grab the New Beginnings bundle, the 1111 bundle that I've put together for my entrepreneurs looking to move forward. New normal is just a part of that experience. Working on your manifestation, your content creation, working on your focus. These are some of the things that we do as part of the New Beginnings bundle. Again, that's waiting for you at citizensense.com/NBB. Reflect now. A couple of questions. I want you to take a look at your life. And when you look back, how do you feel? Take a look at your life. What words best describe your experiences? Take a look at your life. Did you stop believing or trying? If so, when? Why? Take a look at your life. Did you start blaming? Did you start shaming? Why? Who? There are several parts of the start now conversation and then the reflect now conversation that we have as part of new normal, because it really is about getting in here, doing the head work, doing the heart work, and doing the hard work to move forward, right? It's a process. And so basically I sat down and documented the things that I did that I encourage you to do, right? When it comes to really digging into creating these new beginnings. Reflect now. Wow, there are quite a few reflect now pages. This one is one of my favorites. Love it or lose it, right? You think about, what do you love versus what do you want to lose when it comes to what's happening in your life right now, right? I needed to lose some things on the side, those love handles that I didn't quite love, that was not helping me when it comes to my sugars, right? And I've been getting really good with that. So remember, life doesn't have a remote. You have to get up and change it yourself. Bring in more of what you want, bring in more of what you love, and let go of what you would like to lose, right? Love it or lose it. Identify what that looks like for yourself, okay? Now, the next thing that I want to do is continue to walk you through the new normal experience. So far, we talked about start now, number one, reflect now, number two, number three for me, visualize now. Now, of course, I'm giving you kind of like the quick overview of some of the things that I want to talk to you about, what it means to create new beginnings and new normals for yourself. But the full new normal guide is one of several amazing things that I've been working on these past few years for you, again, inside of the new beginners bundle. Okay. This is one of my favorite quotes. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Wise words and profound truths from Napoleon Hill. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So, here are a few things to try. Number one, complete the sentence. I used to imagine myself, dot, 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 right? Visualization is so amazing, right? I used to imagine myself, dot, dot, dot. So, I used to imagine myself living in a condo in Manhattan. That's when I was going to Columbia University. I'm an Ivy League girl, and so I was in Manhattan for a good portion of my life. I'm also a Brooklyn girl, so I grew up in Brooklyn. Went to Brooklyn Technical High School. Then I went to Columbia. Now I live in North Carolina. Look at that, New York girl living in a North Carolina world. Um, I used to visualize myself sipping sweet tea, swinging on a porch, a house, right? I was able to do that. Um, what do you imagine yourself doing? I remember when I was in high school, I my mom got me my first computer, which was an IBM computer. I'm a computer science major. I totally geeked out with IBM and was like, oh my God, it would be so amazing to work for them. And then I did. I interned at IBM for a couple of years. Complete the sentence. I used to imagine myself. And this is about kind of reflecting on what you wanted before and visualizing what you want now, right? Going into the future, going into your new season. Back to the Future. I love this one. Visualize your future now. What do you see? What do you see when you visualize the future that you want to create for yourself? Aspiring entrepreneurs curious about discovering smart ways to move forward, I highly recommend you don't censor, right? So don't self censor yourself. Imagine the you that you want to be, possibly at the start of next year, at the end of next year, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. Interestingly enough, this evening I'm going to do an annual planning training as part of the Wealth Builders Boot Camp. I don't know if you're in it, but over at sistasense.com/WBB, there are quite a few things that we're working on as part of the Wealth Builders experience, the annual planning workshop being one of them. So, number three for me after start now and reflect now is visualize now, right? Life design. I want you to think about someone who's living your dream. Describe someone who is in a space that you want to be visually, right? Being inspired by other people living your dream, I think is something that is transformational for a lot of us. Sometimes you have to see it to believe it, right? And I remember when I was pregnant, I, being the mocha melanated sister that I was, when I went to the bookstore looking for pregnancy books, I was looking at all these pregnancy books, and then I saw this one, which is on my bookshelf right here, of a sister girl with the big belly, an illustration, the Mocha Manual Guide to Pregnancy. And I said, that's the one for me. And of all the things I read in that guide, um, two things I remember: don't cut your hair off, because women want to cut their hair off. And then, of course, I cut my hair off. I mean, all the way. I had to wear a wig, okay, because I cut my hair off. She said, don't do it. Pregnant women like to cut their hair off. Don't do it. And so I did it. Cried, and then went to a wig store and got a wig. And then I started my lock journey when I was, in that space. But I remember her reading Kimberly Seals Allers, a section where she talked about sitting at her kitchen table, looking at her kids, being in this corporate job and thinking, this is not the life for me. I want something else. I want to create something else. And so she quit her corporate job. And while I didn't have a corporate job at the time, I was working in a non-for-profit. I did the same thing. I said, listen, this is not the life I want for me. I want to be a work at home mom. I want to be with my kid. So a few months into my pregnancy, I quit my job, creating my new normals. Sometimes you have to see it to believe it. And reading Kimberly's story while I was in the midst of creating life and creating my new inspired me, right? Visualize now. That's number 3. So today, what I'm doing is basically taking this opportunity to walk you through some of the things that I've done that you could potentially do too as part of this new normal experience. And it took me a while to birth this baby. That is I don't know why the pages are stuck together. I can't turn the pages. Why? It took me a while to birth this baby, but you have to kind of go through the process before you can document the process and share it with others. So the new normal workbook, the series, it's all a part of the new beginnings bundle at sizzlesense.com/NBB. Okay. So 1, start now. 2, reflect now. 3, visualize now. 4, release now. Let's talk about 4, release now. And as I go through these, let me know which of these are resonating with you. Now, it's a process, okay? I'm sharing with you the step-by-step processes, the steps I took to create new normals in my life, to create my business. And of course, feel free to tag somebody who needs to hear this or share this out literally a little bit after 11. Today, 11:11, I said, I'm going to come on here because 11:11 means something to me about creating new beginnings and being in a space of positivity. So, of course, this is a special day. I like to share the new beginnings experience with you. Okay. So, release now. What does that look like? What does that mean? Your next level begins where your comfort level ends. Somebody needs to hear this. Your next level begins where your comfort level ends. Everything you want is on the other side of that mental blocked door called fear. Okay? To be clear, I didn't know what was going to quite happen when I decided to quit my job. I didn't know that because I was newly pregnant, I was going to end up with gestational diabetes. I didn't know I was going through the gentrification process in New York and they was going to try to kick me out of my rent stabilized apartment. I didn't know we were going to go through a lot of things. Okay. I'm gonna say that and leave that there. It was not the easiest year, but it got me here. So for me, when I think about number four here, I want you to think about fear. Are you afraid of certain things? I used to be afraid to put my photos on the web. I used to be afraid to do video. I used to be afraid to get on the phone and talk to people. I used to be afraid to charge a significant amount of money. What if they don't like it? What if they ask for their money back? There are lots of things, but you have to release those things to move forward, right? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Being able to acknowledge those fears and actually release them is what allowed me to power through them. Again, we all as a community, as a world community, went through a lot of traumatic experiences we've gone through a lot in the last couple of years, and each of us have tried to deal with those things in our own way. But for me, creating a space where I could have this conversation to help you figure out how to reset and get back into whatever it is that you're trying to do, that's what this is about for me. Because again, we all gonna go through it at some point. The point is not to stay in it. What do you need to release now? What are you afraid of? Let me put my eyes on. Hey, Akita. Start now. Yes. Your next level begins where your comfort level ends. Absolutely, Levon. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, Yolanda. Welcome. Welcome. If y'all are just coming down in here, let me reset the room. Today is 11/11. I don't know if you know, today is a special day for me. So a little after 11, on 11/11, I said, let me jump on here and share my 11/11 New Beginnings Bundle and New Normal Guide. I'm going to walk you through it, but if you don't have it and want to grab it, this is over at sistersense.com/NBB, the New Beginners, or I keep saying beginners, the New Beginnings Bundle. New beginnings is what 11/11 is all about. If you believe in the power of divine right timing, if you believe in the power of the angel number 11/11, you understand the significance of new beginnings and entering your new season, whatever that new season may be. So for me, I felt like today I wanted to come on here and say a few things about the processes that I put together in the new normal experience. Right now, we are on step number 4, which is to release now. I'm going to share a few sentences with you. Feel free to share what you decide to release with me. You can, more importantly, share it with yourself, but feel free to also share with me. I'm getting an incoming call, so let me pause that real quick. Woo! Hopefully that it stops blinking. My Instagram is like blink, 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 trying to figure some stuff out. Let's see if it stops doing that real quick. I don't know. Okay, I think it's good to go. It's back. It's back into the assignment of what it is that we're trying to do today. I got this little lock. Okay, these little locks be all the way driving me. These little locks all the way driving me crazy. But it's the imperfect imperfections. The perfect imperfections, I think, is a better way to say it. Okay, release now. Complete the sentence. I want to, but. Complete the sentence. I want to, but. I want to, but I can't afford it. I don't have the time. I'm scared. It didn't work before. Why bother? A whole bunch of people already doing it way better than me. What is the reality that you want, but you can't get there because you already done blocked your blessings and you have to release that fear. I want to, but complete the sentence. What do you have to release now? Think about it. And again, it's more important to me that you share it with you, but feel free if there are any parts of this that you'd like to share with me. One of my clients, when she came down here and worked with me for about a week, we did a one-on-one coaching and consulting for a week experience here. And she said, you know what, LaShonda, do you realize that, it reminds me of like the chakra when you go through your chakras, the colors. And I said, I just love bright colors. And that wasn't my intention, but each step is defined by a color, right? And so we're talking about plan now, which is the 5th step after release now. Once you're in a space where you can move towards releasing and going into planning mode, right? What does that look like for you? A dream without a plan is simply a wish, and a goal is a dream with a deadline. So embrace the words, I can, I want, I will. Complete. I can. What are some things that you can do now? Like I said, later on today, I'm going to work on my annual planning workshop as part of the Wealth Builders Bundle. Hopefully, I get to hang out with some of you guys in the Wealth Builders Bundle experience over at sistersense.com/WBB, right? A part of that is identifying, if you're looking at your annual plan or your quarterly plan, what are those things that you intentionally want to do? Start off with completing the sentence, I can. What can you do realistically right now? I want. What do you want right now? Sometimes we censor our wants based on our circumstances, based on our limiting beliefs, based on the people around us telling us what we are supposed to do or what we can't do based on the limiting beliefs they have for themselves or for us, right? So it's for a lot of us as adults, sometimes we got to sit with self for a little bit and remember what exactly it is that we wanted, independent of our circumstance and other people. I will. I will it into being. Will it, as you are saying, I'm actually going to make this thing happen, right? I can, I want, I will. Plan now. Turn your can'ts into cans and your dreams into plans. Get specific, set deadlines, and start prioritizing your priorities. I love talking about SMART goals. And the first part of the SMART acronym is S specific, right? So, what personal projects do you want to start? Like, whether you're watching me live or via the replay, I'm gonna pause for a second so I can ask you, out of curiosity, what is a personal project that you have been saying, I want to start, dot, dot, dot? Let's put it on the calendar. Let's plan it. Let's make it happen. What is a personal project that you need to specifically identify right now? Right? Akita says, right? Right? What is a personal project that you need to identify right now? Get specific. Get specific. Plan now. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So a lot of these sections are really meaty in the new normal life design guide. Like I said, if you got it, great, print it out like right now. If you don't have it, go get it inside of your new beginnings bundle. I made it with love. It's waiting for you at sistersense.com/NBB, the 1111 new beginners bundle, right? The new normal guide, by the way, is just a small piece of that. That's just, I'm not even getting into the other parts of the new beginnings bundle. I keep saying beginners. I'm not even getting into the whole of what the new beginnings bundle includes because I'm so focused on this right here, the new normal guide, right? A part of it is, like I said, each of these sections are pretty meaty. I'm not going to go through everything in all the sections, but I may create a class for those of you who decide you want to grab the new normal guide. Let me know if you want us to do like a 1 day and we just kind of work on it together. Okay. I don't think I've done that before. I've worked in the guide with clients individually, but as like a community project, us like just taking a day to go through the new normal guide. I honestly have not done that before. So let me know if that's something that you want us to do. Moving out of Cali. Ooh, I feel you. Let me tell you something. I've said this before and I'll say it today. One of the things that I always thought was that I was going to be a ride or die New Yorker. Like, stake my claim, I'm going to live in New York for the rest of my life. I haven't lived in New York for going on 16 years because we moved out when my son was a few months old after he was born and he about to be 16. So, um, sometimes where you thought you were isn't exactly where you end up being, right? But being clear about what you want and what you don't want, what you want to release, how you're going to start to strategically plan. I remember there were some very pivotal things that happened a few months into the life of my son. Um, and it went from, yeah, I'm going to be in New York for the rest of my life to be like, oh, nope, time to go. Time to go. It was a very low point. It's a very hard point. And I remember thinking to myself, sometimes God takes you to your lowest point because there's something down there that you're supposed to find. And we found it. Found the strength to get up, to pack, to leave. New baby, new state, no idea what I was going to do. New family too, because honestly, when I moved to North Carolina, the only people I knew here were my hubby and his mama and his stepdad. That was it, and my newborn baby. So, I get it. I like that. The new normal class. Yeah, I mean, if that's something that y'all want to do, email me or let me know. And we can go tooth by tooth, fine tooth comb. That's where I wanted to say. Go with a fine tooth comb through this, okay? Today, because I was inspired to share this with you today. 1111, the 1111 New Beginnings Bundle. A part of the process is planning. So let's talk about this part of planning, okay? I love to do this with entrepreneurs. Losing weight. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. I know. I know. My doctor said to me the last visit I had, she said, "Listen, you just got out of obesity level. Okay. You may go, I don't understand obese, what part? I'm short, but I'm stocky." And as a diabetic, all the things I've been transitioning out of, right? So it's like you just got out of obese level. I need you to understand that Thanksgiving is coming up, Christmas is coming up, the holiday season is coming up. You better not come in here January with no doggone spiked sugars and extra pounds. So I'm trying. Lord knows I'm trying. So me and you, Cynthia, we're going to work on it together, baby. I'm trying. I am trying. Um, Side note, just to keep it quick, but keep it simple. Yesterday, we saw Black Panther. Did anybody else see it? We saw an early showing of Black Panther. And then afterwards, my son was like, "Ooh, ooh, mommy, I want cheesecake milkshake," right? So I got him one, I got his friend one, I got his dad one. Got home and his dad was like, "Where's yours?" I was like, "I don't got none." I got me a cup of ice. So, yes, yay, Lushonda. Woo! I feel you. We got to do what we need to do, right? Plan now. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So start making plans and reviewing the plans you've made. Start by crunching the numbers. This one's for my entrepreneurs. How much do you want to make versus need to make? Set those magic numbers. Set your priority, personal growth goals, right? It's so funny. Let me tell you something, Cynthia, about divine right timing. Let me see if I could zoom in on the screen. I got two screens here. So I don't know how easy it is going to be for you guys to see the page itself because my ring light and then because I'm moving, the camera goes in and out of focus. But here where it says examples, I think one of those examples, if I'm not mistaken, is weight loss goals, credit or debt goals, savings goals, right? Where do you want to grow in your personal life? Where do you want to grow in your professional life? Your revenue goals, your email client list grows, your social media following goals. You have to start to plan by crunching and setting your magic numbers. So these are a few of the magic numbers inside of this particular guide, your personal, your professional, that you need to reflect on. Because again, nothing changes unless you make the changes, right? That's what it is. We can't just wish and wait for our new normals. We have to create them. So yes, I was just talking about SMART goals. And of course, there is space in here for you to identify your SMART goals as a part of the planning process. And that is step number 5 for me. Number 6, act now. Once you start to plan, then you got to start moving. You got to start acting. You got to put them plans in motion, right? Remember, a dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps become a plan. A plan backed by action makes your dreams come true. Talk less, do more, act now. For many years, I've talked about the fact that I believe there are 2 types of people in this world, 2 types of AT people in this world. One of them I like, one of them I cannot stand. Okay. Now, if I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to keep it real. You have in this world AT, active talkers, and AT, action takers. I'm about taking action. I do not, you cannot, do not think you're gonna sit on the phone and talk to me about, oh girl, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do no 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 no. I don't want to sit here and actively talk about all the things that you keep saying you about to do. I want to see you actually do the things you say you are going to do. Hello? Let me know. Are you an active talker or an action taker? Because you can't just sit and dream the dream and plan the plan without actually taking action. First step, brainstorm the first step actions that you will take. Regular steps, explore desirable routines to help reach your goals. Next steps, what things might you work on in the next phase of your business? Let's talk about it. First steps, right? One of my favorite quotes is, the best place to start is to start. You may not know all the parts, but the best place to start is to start. I'm going to tell you from the bottom of my heart, when I lost when I lost vision at the beginning of last year, my body broke. Like I was pushing myself the year before that. And then at the beginning of that last year, my body just completely broke, right? I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't want to call my mom and freak her out. So I'm sitting in my car, like, trying to wait until, because I couldn't sleep. I was waiting until the doctor's office opened so I could go in. And I didn't know what I was going to say. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what was going on because I could barely see through my eyes. Like, so I wear glasses. So I spent the week with my glasses on, and then I put sunglasses over that so I could drive because I was going through eye sensitivity and I was squinting and all kind of stuff. It's crazy. Like if you watch my live streams from the beginning of last year, when it started to happen, I had to stop doing lives. I was on the lives like, I don't know, I can't see. I was like, yeah, this ain't this ain't working. I mean, just giggle about it now, but it wasn't funny then. I say that to say I didn't know all the steps that I was going to need to take. I've done about 3 surgeries on my teeth this year. I got quite a few left to go. And I've had conversations with clients and friends, and they're like, "Oh, girl, I'm scared because I got to do mine." Listen, I can tell you, I'm way better now than where I used to be, but honestly, I didn't know all the steps I needed to take except for the step one, which is just to simply start. Some of y'all, that's what you need to do. You're afraid because you don't know all the pieces and all the parts. Just start. What is that first step supposed to be for you? Then regular steps. I have something called my GROW method. GRO stands for in order to get rich online, and not simply rich monetarily, but being able to live a rich lifestyle, right? Where you create your new normals, you define your day, you define what your life looks like on a regular basis. To get rich online, GRO, you have to work on your GRO first, generating revenue online, like actually making real money online. And in order to generate revenue online, dig deeper, you got to GRO, work on your goals, your routines, and your offers. So for me, routines is a big part of this. First, you start with your identifying your first steps. And then from there, you got to identify your regular steps. So in order for me to go from A1C diabetic of 14 to now A1C of 6.6, I had to routinely do a lot of things that I now do that I wasn't doing before. It had to become not just like a 1 week thing or a 4 week thing, but a routine thing, a lifestyle thing, right? Good God, I just spent like I think it was like 150 or something dollars on the Philips Sonic Care. This thing right here. I literally have it sitting here. I'm gonna show you real quick. I'm not doing a plug for them, but if you think I should, I'll put them on my Amazon store. Amazon, sistersense.com/top tools. That's my Amazon store. Y'all, I'm a businesswoman at heart. So, if I'm going to share something with you, it's going to have some affiliate link connected to it. This thing right here was like $150, $160. This is one of the top tier Sonic toothbrushes, the 9,000 Diamond Clean. This ain't no $9.99. Go get it at Walmart, okay? This bad boy might as well just walk up to me, lean me over, and clean my mouth without me. That's how damn expensive it is. But listen, it's become a part of my new routine. Why? Because I'm spending all this time and all this damn money doing all these surgeries. I better get these things pearly white by next year. I'll tell you that. But that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. That damn thing is a part of my new routine. Okay. I say that to say, whether it be your personal goals or your business goals, you have to not only work on your first steps, but your regular steps, the things that become a part of your routines. And then for me, your next steps. What things might you work on in the next phase of your goals? So there is something called phase in your greatness. Okay. And when I say that, it's for my entrepreneurs who get real excited about the possibilities. Some of y'all real excited. Y'all get on the phone with me. By the way, if ever you wanted to talk to me, work with me one-on-one, you can always go over to sistersense.com/call me, right? Um, and one of the things, hold on. You think I'm playing? I'm like, don't forget, add Sonic Phillips Care to your Amazon store. It's holiday season. um, One of the things when I'm on the phone with clients, they'll be like, okay, LaShonda, I want to do this, 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 I want to do this. And I love possibilities, but I also know that it's very easy to get paralyzed by the possibilities. Who paralyzed right now? Real talk. All these things you want to do and you have absolutely no clue where to begin. I like to say, phase in your greatness. So you start with the first step of the thing that you know realistically you can do, right? You then think about those things that you can honestly, practically put into your routines for regular steps. And then the next steps is everything else. All the stuff you say, but I wanna, you put those in that next step category so that you'll be able to phase in your greatness. You hear me? Because again, I do not want you to be paralyzed by the possibilities of all the amazing things that you can do, so much so that you end up doing nothing. You cannot create new normals without taking action. So I've been on Act Now for a minute, y'all. I'm going to move on to the next step. Please forgive me. There's so much more I could say here. Like I said before, if you get the new normal guide and you want me to do like a bonus 1-day new normal, we just sit down and go through all of it. Like maybe not even just 1 day, because it's a lot to go through in 1 day. Maybe I do like a 3-day new normal weekend workshop and we go through the book together. Grab it, email me, let me know, and I'll make that happen for you. Number one, the new normal life design guide is waiting for you. I mean, there are the printed version that you can order, but the PDF that you can print out along with the audio series, that's inside of the New Beginning 1111 bundle. New Beginnings at sistersense.com/NBB. New Beginnings bundle. Yes. So somebody could drop that link into the chat box for me, as a matter of fact. sistersense.com/NBB New Beginnings bundle. That's where you can grab this if you don't already have this. After Act Now, the next step is Promise Now. Promise Now. So let's talk about promises, okay? A year from now, Don't find yourself wishing you started today. One of my favorite quotes: a year from now, you'll wish you started today, right? And we never want to live in a space of regret. So it's so important in each of these sections that I give you a friendly reminder. And in this section, promise now, it is a year from now. Don't find yourself wishing that you started today. There are 4 steps to achievement: plan purposely, prepare prayerfully, proceed positively, and pursue persistently. Prayerful, patient, present, persistence. That's something that I live by. Prayerfully, being patient and being persistent until I see all the things that I want to see. Remember, one of the steps that we previously talked about is visualization, right? You got to visualize it, you got to plan it, you got to act towards it, release what you need to release, move forward, promise. Make a promise to yourself to wake, pray, work, slay, repeat. Work on your vision. Now, I got to put my eyes on just so I can see what you guys are saying to me. Yes. Hey, Nadine is in the building. Awesome to see you here, my dear. Just to reset the room for those of you who are coming in, feel free to tag and or share this out with your business besties. And of course, today, a few minutes after 11 on 11:11, I said, let's talk about 11:11, the power of new beginnings, and talking you through this new normal guide I've created for you. Oh, awesome. You worked for Sonicare, Phillips? We need to sit down and talk. This bad boy is amazing. I love it. I love it. It is changing my life. But that's another conversation for another day, you and me. So, yes, promise now. Create a 1-year bucket list. What do you want to do this year? What skills do you want to master? So, if I had it, I would grab it, but I'm not getting up. Okay. But you guys have seen it in the last few sessions. Actually, I'm going to do another training today. Okay. So turn on alerts and notifications so you can see when I'm live, so you can jump on here live with me. All this week, I've been doing a book a day challenge. And we've been talking about workbooks, idea books, binge books, audio books. Today is the last day, notebooks. And I've even shared with you guys my planners. So promises, right? This year, I said, LaShonda, you've been sitting on a few of your book projects. I need you to release them. So on my bucket list, on my birthday, I released about 4 or 5 planners that I've been wanting to release, number 1. And number 2, I also released my new password logbook, right? For my business besties who need to track their passwords, because that's one of the banes of your existence. By the way, those books and my notebooks are at sistersense.com/shop, or just go to sistersense.shop. Okay. That's just a side note. But that was something I was able to proudly accomplish this year, having my planners and my notebooks, new versions of them released, number 1, and then helping my clients release their own publications, number 2. So planners, notebooks, journals, magazines too. A lot of my clients have been able to release them. Dr. Kira, one of my clients, she has newly gotten an amazing exclusive interview with Les Brown for her newly released magazine. One of my clients, Janelle, has been on local television featuring all of the publications that she's put together as part of the Sister Sense experience. So listen, baby, if you want to see what you want to see next year, I need you to not promise me, but promise you what it is that you plan to do. Create a 1-year bucket list. What do you want to do? What do you want to master? Hey, aw, you've been missing everything. You can always catch the replays, baby. But I am going to be on here a couple of times today. The A Book a Day challenge, day 5. I'm going to be doing that in a little bit. But I wanted to because, again, like I said, today is 11/11, a day where we talk about creating new beginnings, working in a space of positivity, whatever you want to see. And I want you to identify, those of you who are here right now, whether you catching me live or catching me via the replay side, When you think about new beginnings, what's something that you say, I promise myself I want this new beginning in my life or my business? What is that thing that you promise yourself you want to see? Share that. Share that with yourself. But of course, if you feel free, share it with us in the community. You can drop it into the chat. What's something that you promise now? Excuse me. Mini hiccup. What's something that you promise now? You're putting on your future bucket list. And now. So the final phase, well, not quite final phase of this, because then there is a few other resources as part of new normal. The final step is the end now step, where it's an opportunity for my mentees to think about where they are at the end of this new normal guide and connect with me so that we can talk and we can go through the various steps, right? There are so many new resources and solutions that I've put together. And so, as part of new normal, that end now part is checking in with me, working with the community to move forward. And so I will say that as part of this, if you do want to, if ever you needed to, you could always email citizens@gmail.com, number one. When you're on the citizens.com website, click the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message, number two. And for me, number three, you can always go over to citizens.com/call me, right? So if there's an opportunity for us to continue the conversation, even though the guide ends, our experience, our conversations don't, right? So what does that ending step look like? How can we continue the conversation? That's a part of this experience. Mastering Canva. Yes, Canva is bae. Y'all need to email citizens@gmail.com. Two things. Number one, if you decide to get the New Beginnings bundle, 1111 New Beginnings bundle. You know when you bite your tongue and then you keep biting your tongue in the same spot? I keep saying beginners instead of beginnings, and so it's just gonna hang me up all day, all day. But of course, email me if number one, you want me to do like a full all day or maybe 3 day new normal workbook walkthrough. This was just a good opportunity to, for an hour, give you some of the fundamental steps of the process of what it takes to create new normals in your life and in your business. If you want me to do that as a full either 1 to 3 day experience, let me know. And for those of you who are like Akita and you want to work on your Canva skills, I will do a Canva beginners or Canva basics. Just kind of email me, check in, let me know what you want to learn about Canva, all the things, specific things, citizens@gmail.com, and I'll do my best to support you in that as well. Real money, not working backwards. I get it. I get it. Moving forward with your money goals, your business goals, your growth goals, your personal goals, all the goals. Identify what you want to accomplish and make a plan of how you're going to make that happen. So, 1111, y'all. Woo! I'm so excited to continue to enjoy and be as productive as I could possibly be today. Make sure that you grab this, okay? Your new beginnings bundle, 1111 collection, waiting for you at citizens.com/NBB. And of course, I'll see you guys a little bit later so that I can continue to share some money, motivation, content creation, marketing, and sales recommendations with you. So as always, don't forget, turn on alerts and notifications so you can see when I'm live, so you can jump on here live with me. Share this out, tag your business besties. And if you've enjoyed this one, tap, 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 tap on the thumbs up, the hearts, and the love. Till next time, take care. Mwah. Bye.